Hi, everybody, and Happy New Year. I'm Leah Symonds, the Support Delivery Manager here at SUMO Scheduler, and I'm delighted to welcome you to our webinar. Today, we have an exciting session lined up where we'll be looking into the new Field Sales Scheduler. We are joined by Angela McKnight, our Customer Success Director, and she'll be leading us through the demo. For those of you who aren't familiar, SUMO Scheduler is a Salesforce native appointment and scheduling platform that takes the headache out of booking meetings and scheduling events. In doing so, this enables companies to focus on developing customer relationships that drive growth while getting some time back in your day. By the end of our webinar today, we'll provide you with an overview of the Field Sales Scheduler. You will also have the opportunity to engage in with our Salesforce support team to ask questions and answers. Speaking of which, we'll be using the chat functionality within the Zoom meeting to address any questions that you may have with a bit of help from our support team. Feel free to ask questions at any time, and we'll do our best to answer them as they come in. If we cannot get it to your question immediately, we will post the Q&A along with the webinar after the session. All right, Angela, let's just jump into the demo and see how it goes.
Right. Thanks, Leah. All right, guys. So here I am in Salesforce, and the first place that I'm going to go and take you is to a calendar. So this can be the Salesforce calendar. This can be your Google Calendar, your Outlook calendar, but this is where you kind of need to start when it comes to field sales. So as you can see here on my calendar, this is my calendar connection that I have as the Salesforce calendar in my demo org. You can see here that I have a starting address. So what needs to be done for field sales to accurately account for the time, the travel time, is a starting address has to be created. I'm going to go ahead and create one here on Saturday so you can see how that works. So I just click on the calendar. I create a Salesforce event that's non-SUMO record type. So then I'm going to go ahead and click on next. My subject is going to be starting address. And it needs to be all in capital letters, just like you see it here. So that way SUMO recognizes that. And then your location is going to be the location of your start, where you're starting your day. That could be the office. It could be your house. It could be the Starbucks on the corner, wherever your day kind of starts. And then you'll want the time to be what your starting time is. So 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., whatever time you start your day. Usually when I do my starting time, I just do it for like a 15-minute block, but you can do a half an hour block or whatever works best for you. And then I do have this set up to be recurring, so that way I only have to create that just once. And then it recurs for me. So that's how I would go ahead and create it. Just make sure that you put your location and that your subject is starting address. If you're doing this for somebody else, make sure you assign it to that other person and not yourself. Okay. So once you have that starting address there, SUMO is now going to be able to read that starting address. So then what I need to do as an admin is I need to go to SUMO admin settings, and then I will go to my user license manager, add or remove users, and then I need to give my users field sales licenses for any one of those users who I want to be able to use that. So for that, I'm going to go ahead and click on special, and you'll see right here it says field sales. And then you would just click on the profile of the user and add them over there to the field sales list. So then they have the license and the permission sets needed to be a field sales user. Okay. So then while I'm still in the SUMO admin settings, I have my online scheduler here. We'll go through this process first. So if I go ahead and click edit on one of my processes, or I can go ahead and create new, I'll go ahead and navigate to the Who tab. And there are some new settings in here that apply to field sales. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll all the way to the bottom. And right down here is choose your preferred travel time configuration. So do not calculate travel time. That's how it's going to be once you upgrade your org or install into a new org out of box. So once you have field sales licenses, you can do calculate travel time for any user who has field sales license and exclude non-field sales users, which would mean they aren't going to be displayed in the process. So it's only going to schedule appointments with your field sales users. You do have the ability to include non-field sales users as well, and then the appointments can be booked with them. It's just not going to calculate any travel time for them because they don't have that field sales license. This, your location travel time is available on the online scheduler process and invite manager processes, and it's in the same location on both. It's on the Who tab all the way to the bottom. So if I go ahead and go to my global tab, I'll pop this open and show you what field sales looks like from the online scheduler. And what I just showed you guys in those brief moments at the beginning of the webinar is literally all that needs to be done to get field sales up and running in your org, outside of reaching out to your SUMO account executive to get it added to your org. It's just the starting address, you change your settings, and then you assign your users licenses. Pretty simple. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and launch this. Okay, so go ahead and enter in my information. Click on next. It's going to ask me these options here. Obviously, if there's no options, if it's only your location or only video conference, whatever the case may be, Sumo is going to skip this page. I do have my process set up for all of the different options. So for the field sales demo, I'm going to go ahead and choose your location. So then the customer is going to come in here and they're going to enter their address that they want to meet. Either that's going to be their home address, or maybe they're going to meet you at the coffee shop, or whatever the case may be. Just keep in mind that this does require that you have a Google Maps API key for you to be able to search for different addresses here. So I'm going to go ahead and put an address. Okay. It gives me the option here. Go ahead and click on next. Choose my appointment type. So what type of appointment do I want? I'm going to go ahead and choose that 30-minute. Click on next. And then I'm going to go ahead and choose my date and my time for my appointment. So the 24th at 9:15. Go ahead and click on next. This is that additional info page that you do have the ability to expose if you want your customers to invite other people, enter notes or attachments, or you can add custom event or Sumo additional info fields here. If you do not have this page enabled, it will skip this page for you if this isn't something that you wanted to have. And then you'll go ahead and click on schedule appointment. And that's it. The customer is going to get an email and an ICS file, just like everything Sumo does, but the host is going to have travel time calculated. So we can go ahead and look at Wednesday, January the 24th at 9:15 on my Salesforce calendar. So that's the next week. So right here, you'll see that 30-minute meeting and then travel time. And earlier in my org, I was in there playing and booked an appointment without travel time. So that's why you're seeing this one here. That would be if it was a virtual meeting or something like that, it might not have travel time. But you can see this travel time here, and then you can see that appointment. And if I was to schedule another appointment, you would see the different travel times just start lining up on here. Okay, so for the next one, I'm going to go to Invite Manager. Go ahead and click on my contacts process. And then same thing, navigate to the Who tab, scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see right here, I've got it to calculate travel time for any user and include non-field sales users. So I'm going to go ahead and go to a contact and show you what the new appointment's going to look like from the contact object. So right here, new appointment. Again, choose my appointment type. Choose in person. Type in my address. Okay, it's got me as the user, and then the contact already there. Going to go ahead and choose, I'll do the 24th again so that you can see the way that looks with the travel time on the same day. Go ahead and choose 8:15 in the morning. and then go ahead and click on save. And then we'll go back to the 24th on the Salesforce calendar, and you'll be able to see what that looks like. Okay, so right here, you can see that travel time is right there. And then my 60-minute meeting is right there. So if I keep going, and I'll try to schedule all the appointments that I do during this demo on Wednesday, the 24th. So that way you can see it, piling up and adding more appointments with that travel time. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we'll go ahead and demo what email and invite looks like with the field sales scheduler. So this one was probably, when I was looking at this in the beginning, it was probably the one that I thought was the coolest, but I'll let you guys judge that. So we're going to go ahead and do 30-minute meeting. We're going to do in person. And now with the field sales scheduler, this location, you don't have to choose. I can type in a location here and have that predetermined for the customer. But what this is going to do is it's going to give the customer the ability to add the location. So they can choose where they're going to meet. So you don't always necessarily now with the field sales have to predefine that location. So for this example, I'll go ahead and leave that blank so you can see what it looks like. Again, right here is my host and my contact. And then I'm going to go ahead and email that invite. And then I need to go get that invite. Give me 1 sec while I pull that up, guys, so I can show you what it looks like. I do have a second monitor. I'm not just looking off into space over here, guys. All right. So this is what it's going to look like. Email an invite from the customer's experience. And don't forget, this is where I left that location blank. So the customer has the ability to define that location, and whether, like I said, like if that's their home address or if that's the coffee shop down the road for them. So right here, you'll see it says to choose to see a date and time for availability, please enter an address. And you'll see that this is all blank down here because they need to enter that address. If I had already entered that address, it would function just like it does today and automatically display that availability for users to be able to book. So, oops. So I'm going to choose the 24th again and go ahead and choose that 9:30 slot and then schedule my meeting. And then we'll go back to the Salesforce calendar. We'll take a look at that and see what that travel time looks like. Like I said, I chose the 24th again, so you guys can see that kind of piling up over there. So right here, that's that 60-minute meeting that I just booked. And then I have that travel time here. And then my 30-minute meeting. Keep in mind that you can still, with travel times, you can still do buffer time. So maybe, your field sales users need a little bit of prep time, or, maybe travel time isn't always accurate in your location because, the weather's really bad like it is here today. And you want to give them that additional buffer time. Don't forget, you can still add that pre-buffer and post-buffer, and then it'll add that and also have that travel time in there. So you're not going to lose access to that feature with those users with field sales. So, okay. And then the next one that I'll go ahead and show you guys how it works is SUMO appointment links. So right here, I'm in SUMO appointment links. I'm going to go ahead and click on new. So this can be, an email in your email signature. You can use it to mass email out to your customers to be able to book those appointments with you. And this is going to work the exact same as it does for email and invite. When you click in person, you do have the ability to predefine that location, or you have the ability to allow the customers to enter their own location. So if you're out in the field and maybe you're going to be in a general area for that day and your user availability accounts for that, you can allow the customers to choose a location that's good for them. Maybe they want to meet in the coffee shop or at their house or whatever the case may be. You don't have to predefine that location. I thought that was just the coolest feature. So right here, same thing always happens. You guys have all these different options. You can add an additional user. And if they're field sales users, or even if they're not field sales users, you'd have the ability to add, a link with multiple participants. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and predetermine my location. I just got to think of a new address. And then go ahead and save that link. And then I'll pop it open and show you what it looks like from a customer's experience when that location is already defined there. You'll see that availability, it won't be blank on that calendar. You'll be able to see that. So still the same information is up here. Besides, now I don't have that box where I can enter that location. It's already up here. And you can see that the availability is here. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that 24th again. Go ahead and choose that first slot at 10 a.m. Enter in my information. And then schedule my meeting. And then once the schedule's through, again, I'll take you back to the Salesforce calendar so you can see what that looks like with all of those appointments on one day. Okay, so right there, you saw it pop up. That's that 30-minute meeting right there. I wonder if I chose Washington Street for here or if this location is super close because there was very little travel time there. So, or maybe I forgot to set up the process. Scroll to the bottom. Yep, I have it set to do not calculate travel time. So if I have it set like this to calculate that travel time, it's going to calculate the travel time. So make sure that don't make the same mistake that I just did. Make sure that your processes are set up to calculate that travel time when you're using those different processes, maybe for leads or contacts or the appointment links, whatever the case may be. All right, Leah, back to you.
Thank you, Angela. That was an awesome walkthrough. We hope that you found this webinar insightful and that you're excited to explore how SUMO Scheduler can transform your customer engagement dynamics. Remember, our team is here to support you every step of the way. And to revisit today's content or share it with your team, our webinar videos will be available on multiple platforms, including the SUMO Scheduler YouTube channel, our sumoscheduler.com, and our CEP knowledge base. If you have any questions or need assistance or encounter any challenges while implementing our solutions, please do not hesitate to reach out to our support team. We are here to help you succeed. Thank you once again for being part of today's webinar. We look forward to partnering with you on your journey to scheduling success with SUMO Scheduler. Have a wonderful day, everybody.